Hello YouTube, this is me Hugo Flores recording another video. Today is Monday, June 10th of 2013 and I want to make a video about cells. Here's some information off of Wikipedia. Cell biology from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. The cell is the basic structural, functional, and biological unit of all knowing living organisms. It is the smallest unit of life that is classified as a living thing, except virus, which consists of only DNA, RNA, covered by protein and lipids, and is often called the building block of life. It consists of a protoplasm enclosed within a membrane, which contains many biomolecules such as proteins and nucleic acids. Organisms can be classified as unicellular, consisting of a single cell, including most bacteria, or multicellular, including plants and animals. While the number of cells in plants and animals varies from species to species, humans contain about 100 trillion cells. Most plant and animal cells are between 1 and 100 micrometers and therefore are visible only under the microscope. The cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. The cell theory first developed in 1839 by Matthias Jakob Schleiden and Theodor Schwann, states that all organisms are composed of one or more cells, that all cells come from pre-existing cells, that vital functions of an organism occur within cells, and that all cells contain the hereditary information necessary for regulating cell functions and for transmitting information to the next generation of cells. Cells emerged on planet Earth at least 4.0 through 4.3 billion years ago. The word cell comes from the Latin cella, meaning small room. The descriptive term for the smallest living biological structure was coined by Robert Hooke in a book he published in 1665 when he compared the cork cells he saw through his microscope to the small rooms monks lived in. Anatomy. There are two types of cells, eukaryote and prokaryote. Prokaryote cells are usually independent, while eukaryote cells can either exist as a single-cell organism or be found in multicellular organisms. Prokaryote cells. The prokaryote cell is simpler and therefore smaller than a eukaryote cell, lacking a nucleus and most of the other organelles of eukaryotes. There are two kinds of prokaryotes, bacteria and archaea. These share a similar structure. The nuclear material of a prokaryote cell consists of a single chromosome that is in direct contact with the cytoplasm. Here, the undefined nuclear region in the cytoplasm is called the nucleoid. A prokaryote cell has three architectural regions. On the outside, flagella and pili protect the cell's surface. These are structures not present in all prokaryotes, made of proteins that facilitate movement and communication between cells. Enclosing the cell is a cell envelope, generally consisting of a cell wall covering a plasma membrane, though some bacteria also have a further covering layer called a capsule. The envelope gives rigidity to the cell and separates the interior of the cell from its environment, serving as a protective filter. Though most prokaryotes have a cell wall, there are exceptions such as mycoplasma, bacteria, and thermoplasm, archaea. The cell wall consists of peptidoglycan in bacteria and acts as an additional barrier against exterior forces. It also prevents the cell from expanding and finally bursting. photolysis from osmotic pressure against a hypotonic environment. Some eukaryote cells, plant cells, and fungal cells also have a cell wall. Inside the cell is a cytoplasm region that contains the cell genome, DNA, and ribosomes and various sorts of inclusions. A prokaryotic chromosome is usually a circular molecule. An exception is that of the bacterium Borrelia burgdorferi, which causes Lyme disease. Though not forming a nucleus, the DNA is condensed in a nucleoid. Prokaryotes can carry extrachromosomal DNA elements called plasmids, which are usually circular. Plasmids enable additional functions such as antibiotic resistance. Eukaryote cells. Plants, animals, fungi, slime, molds, protozoa, and algae are all eukaryote. These cells are about 15 times wider than a typical prokaryote and can be as much as 1,000 times greater in volume. The major differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is that eukaryote cells contain membrane-bound compartments in which specific metabolic activities take place. Most important among these is a cell nucleus, a membrane delineated compartment that houses the eukaryote cell's DNA. This nucleus gives the eukaryote its name, which means true nucleus. Other differences include the plasma membrane resembles that of prokaryotes in function, with minor differences in the setup. Cell walls may or may not be present. The eukaryote DNA is organized in one or more linear molecules called chromosomes, which are associated with histone proteins. All chromosomal DNA is stored in the cell nucleus, separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane. Some eukaryotic organelles, such as mitochondria, also contain some DNA. Many eukaryotic cells are ciliated with primary cilia. Primary cilia play important roles in chemosensation, mechanosensation, and thermosensation. Cilia may thus be viewed as sensory cellular antennae that coordinate a large number of cellular signaling pathways, sometimes coupling the signaling to ciliary motility or alternatively to cell division and differentiation. Eukaryotes can move using motility, cilia, or flagella. The flagella are more complex than those of prokaryotes. Subcellular components. All cells, whether prokaryote or eukaryote, have a membrane that envelops the cell, separates its interior from its environment, regulates what moves in and out, selectively permeable, and maintains the electric potential of the cell. Inside the membrane, a salty cytoplasm takes up most of the cell's volume. All cells except red blood cells, which lack a nucleus, and most organelles to accommodate maximum space for hemoglobin, possess DNA. The hereditary material of genes and RNA contain the information necessary to build various proteins, such as enzymes. The cell's primary machinery. There are also other kinds of biomolecules in cells. This article lists these primary components of the cell, then briefly describes the function. Well, I can't read all that because it's already coming up on 10 minutes. But it was nice making a nice 10-minute video about cells. And I guess I'll title this Cell and subject it Cell. Hopefully people don't get it confused with the Dragon Ball Z character Cell. Well, it was nice making a video, and this is Hugo Flores ending this video with a have a good day.